Hello everyone, in this video I am sharing this pattern. I made a cushion cover out of it, a lace pattern with rows of popcorn stitches in between. So we begin with slip knot. The beginning chain for this pattern would be multiples of 6 plus 3. In the cushion cover I took the beginning chain 147, and here for demo I am taking 24 plus 3 27. Now we'll start row 1. From the 4th chain from the hook I am going to make a DC, and then one DC in each chain till the last. So this is our first row. Number of DCs in this row should be equal to number of multiples of 6 we have taken. So in this case it should be 25 number of DCs. Now we'll begin our next row. Chain 1, turn the work anti-clockwise and SC in the same stitch. Now chain 2, skip 2 DC below, and in this one we'll work a DC, chain 2 DC in the same stitch. DC, chain 2 DC. Now chain 2, skip 2 DC below, and in the next we'll do a SC, single crochet. This is what we are going to do till the end of this row. Now in the end, chain 2 and SC in the topmost chain of the beginning 3 chain DC, like this. This is the end of our second row. Now for third row we'll chain 4, turn the work anti-clockwise. Now we'll work in these chain 2 spaces. We are going to make 2 DC clusters, 2 DC cluster chain 2, 2 DC cluster chain 2, 2 DC cluster. I'll show you how it is done. Insert the hook in the space, yarn over, pull the yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again yarn over, insert the hook in the space, pull a yarn over, pull through first 2 loops. Now 3 loops are visible on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now chain 2, again yarn over, insert the hook in the space, pull a yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again yarn over, insert the hook, pull the yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now 3 loops are visible, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. This is how 2 DC cluster is made. Again chain 2 and one more 2 DC cluster. Now chain 1, and then we'll work in the same way in all the chain 2 spaces. 2 DC cluster, chain 2, 2 DC cluster, chain 2, 2 DC cluster, and then chain 1. So we have reached till the end now of this work. Now we'll chain 1 and make a DC after skipping 1 chain of the top last 4 chain DC. So this is the end of our third row. Now we'll make a chain 1, 2, 3, 4, turn the work anti-clockwise, and we'll make a DC in the first chain 2 space between the 2 DC clusters. chain 1, DC in the next chain 2 space, chain 1, DC in the chain 1 space. This is how we are going to complete this row till the end. Chain 1, DC in the chain 2 space between 2 clusters, chain 1 in the next space, chain 1, DC in the chain 1 space. So we have reached the end of this 4th row. Now in the last, chain 1, and we'll make the DC after skipping the 4th chain, topmost chain, like this. Now chain 3, turn the work anti-clockwise, make a DC in the chain 1 space, then a DC in the DC below, again a DC in the chain 1 space, and like this we are going to continue throughout the row. As DC in the last topmost chain. Now this is the 5-row pattern of the lace, and number of DCs in the this row should be equal to number of DCs in the first row. Now I am going to make popcorn stitches. For that, now chain 3, turn the work anti-clockwise, and a DC in the next DC below. Now I am going to make a popcorn in the next DC. I'll show you how the popcorn stitch is made. So we are going to make 3 DCs in the same stitch. DC 1, DC 2, DC 3. Leave the loop, insert the hook in the first DC and pull the loop through this. The popcorn is made. Now I am going to make 2 DCs in the next 2 DCs below. 1 and then 2. Again I am showing the popcorn in the next one. Three DCs in the next same stitch. Leave the loop, insert the hook in the first DC, pull the loop through this stitch. Popcorn is made, and then 2 DCs in the next 2 DC close. So we are going to make 2 DC, popcorn 2 DC throughout this row. So this is done. This we can make these popcorns in different colors, as I have done in my case of my cushion cover. So I hope you liked it, liked the tutorial, you learned something like I learned. Thanks for watching.